Hi, welcome to the fourth part of indices. So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to demonstrate the fourth law of indices. So let's take an example. Say we have 2a in brackets, all of that squared, and we want to know what is that equal. Well, if we were to do this longhand, we could say that it's 2a times itself, so 2a times 2a, like this. And what we're seeing is that it's going to be 2 times 2 times a, and then we get 4a squared. Now what we could recognise is that this 4 could be rewritten as 2 squared. So what we've got is 2 squared times a squared. So what we're doing is we're basically applying the square term to both of these values because what's inside that bracket has been multiplied together, so we can apply the index here. So the fourth law of indices states that when we have two numbers or pronomials multiplied each other, all raised to a power, then that power is being raised to the individual number. So let's take an example. 4b squared. So 4b all squared. So that's different, by the way, to saying 4b squared. It's 4b all squared. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply this square to each of the individual terms, and what we get is 4 squared b squared. 4 squared, to finish it off, would be 16b squared. Alright, let's have another example. 10y all cubed. We're going to apply the cube to each of these terms inside the brackets. So we get 10 cubed times y cubed. Do you know what 10 cubed is? 10 times 10 times 10. That'll be 1,000. So 1,000 y cubed. Alright, so not too difficult, hopefully. Let's have yet another example. We got 10xy squared. So just like here, we've got 3 terms multiplied in the brackets, but we still apply this law. We're going to apply this square term to each of these. So we're going to have 10 squared x squared y squared. So this is 100 x squared y squared. Okay, let's see this one. We've got x to the power of 3 y squared. Now we've got a value inside the bracket that itself has been raised to an index. So we've got x to the power of 3. But remember, when we've got a times b, they too are raised to an index themselves. We just haven't put them. Remember, this is like saying a to the power of 1 times b to the power of 1. So this time we've got x to the power of 3 times y to the power of 1 all squared. And we're still going to multiply each of these individual terms by the term outside the bracket, the power outside the bracket. So we can rewrite this like this, and what we're going to do is we're going to multiply x cubed, and we're going to multiply the power, the index, by 2, and we're going to do the same to the y. We're going to take the index of the y and multiply it by 2. So what we get is x to the power of 6, y to the power of 2. I'll have one more example here. So we can extend the fourth law of indices to be this. So a, m, b, k all raised to the power. So all this is saying is that when we've got something like this inside the brackets that have been multiplied together now, and the brackets, everything in that bracket's been raised to another power, we're multiplying each term, so each of the index, we're multiplying by the index of the bracket. So have a think about this one. What would we do for t squared g to the power of 3 all raised to the power of 3? Well, remember, we're going to take each of these individual terms and we're going to multiply by this index here. So the first one is going to be t to the power of 6, and then we're going to be multiplying that by g to the power of 9.